aunt's house. So I'm like, well, if you were, I mean, again, not calling him a liar, or anything like that, but if I felt
I'm so sorry I fainted. I'm so sorry. Girl, I'm so sorry I fainted, girl. Oh. Girl, it was always almost taking me to the king, girl. Oh, Jesus.
That's what the man said. And so yeah, the following day, I guess from there, he followed up by visiting the aunt's house, and it just went from there. But yeah.
Thank y'all for the gifts. I ain't picked one. I didn't REI. Now listen, Miss Key. Let's rewind to the first beginning. You hear your neighbors saying they want food, and you just walk out the house and offer them food, like
offer a ride to get food, yeah.
A ride to get food. So
because he was saying that he needed a ride. He overheard him saying he needed a ride.
So I'm putting my ear to the door to hear if my neighbor needs a ride for food. I'm just asking a question. I'm just really. I'm really.
I don't know how far in proximity Charli was. Maybe he was on the porch. I don't know. But apparently he overheard the conversation and offered the ride. This is what the young man was saying. I'm a head out. I was just telling you what.
Girl, don't go nowhere, girl. Don't go nowhere. Cause we gonna get later. I'm not. This is serious, y'all. But I just never know for somebody to put their ear to the wall to hear somebody needed food or whatever the case may be. So we don't know verbatim if they were sitting on the porch, if they were sitting on the steps. It's just like,
yeah,
girl. Some things are just a little absurd.
I mean, like I said, I can't call this young man a liar, or
we ain't calling me a liar. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna call him a liar. But I hear my person, my neighbor. Let's just say that my neighbor asking for food, and I'm just gonna jump out of my front door and offer to give them a ride just for them to go get food. And then not only that, say, what are you going to do for the food?
Yeah, because when they got there, Charli ended up paying for the food for him. And, he thought that was a nice gesture. And he said he kind of felt like, oh, this is going to be a friend or possibly somebody I could look to as a big brother. But then when he did what he did in the car when they got back, that's what happened. That's what he said happened. And it just went from there.
I already say that's what predators do. He been watching him. And then proceeds to go to the auntie's home.
Yeah.
Okay, so fill this loop in for me. Fill this loop in for me, cause I just fill it in, right? So was the young man living with his auntie the entire time?
Well, according to him, his parents passed when he was 10, so his aunt took him in. So he had been living with his aunt at least since he was 10.
At least since he was 10.
Well, let me backtrack because he didn't say a timeline. He just said his parents passed when he was 10, his aunt took him in. So I don't know if he went anywhere in between that time, between them passing and him getting to his aunt, but eventually the aunt took him in, and that's how he ended up by the aunt.
Now, it's giving. We have to know how the house is set up. We have to know how the neighborhood is. Because I'm trying to see, even if it was apartment buildings or whatever the case may be, in order for Charli to hear him say, him verbatim, like him specifically, that could have been any person in the house saying that they're hungry and they need a ride for food. But Charli heard him specifically say he needs a ride for food, and offered to take him, for food, and asked the man, what would he do for the food?
And that's why I think he had been outside, because you can't possibly know unless,
he just overheard him outside.
Yeah,
as a neighbor.
Saying, man, I need a ride to go get something to eat, and he was like, oh, well, I'm heading out, I could bring you, like that kind of thing.
All right. If that was on the table and that offer was on the table, as a stranger, even at 15, everybody's different. But at 15, and that's my neighbor, whomever, and we don't know each other like that, I'm not getting no food from him. I'm not riding around in no car with nobody. At 15, maybe 4, 5, 8, maybe they could have persuaded me or whatever. At 15, I'm not getting in no car with no grown man, no old man to go get a food, go get a beer, go get a chip, go get a dip, go get a nothing. At 15, but that's just me.
But then he was, if his background is true, he was in a fragile state at 15, losing your parents and, probably looking for some kind of role model or some kind of father figure. He may have looked at him like, oh, well, he might be a potential new friend. Like he said, maybe he might be my big brother or something like that. So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I feel like it's a whole lot of loopholes. One in particular, I think it was one you brought up earlier when you were with Charli on I don't know what y'all call all of this stuff, but you mentioned the camera angle and how it didn't look like the perspective of, if it was just a house camera. And I was like,
a house camera can be placed anywhere because I got a portable one. Mine is on the countertop. It's on the countertop. My whole aspect from that is if the auntie had access to the cameras and they were playing on her phone, you could clearly see it'll start recording once motion is in the room. So while that young man is in the home, she should be able to see that. And then if he's being taken advantage of inappropriately, she would have been able to get that all on film. Like she would have been able to harbor all of this good old information. What's up, April 18? You're next. Hey, baby.
Did we have this technology like 6 years ago? Like the cameras connected to phones and stuff like that 6 years ago? Because I feel like Ring and all of that was this is kind of recent. Like of course they had cameras, but as far as it being connected to the phone, I don't know if that goes back 6 years. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
6 years? I know we have been advanced, even with iPhones and different things. We've been having technology around for a while. It sounds like a long time, but technology been around for a long time. So when the camera started coming out, y'all, even if they had the old school one where, like in a store, they have the cameras and they roll the tape and they roll the film in the back and they're able to keep footage. So if they get robbed, they're able to show like they got robbed in different stores like that. Film has always been recorded, so whether it was recorded via tape, via phone, via something, there's always some type of way to go back and play footage. So even if it's old school cameras, they record.
Someone did ask, so what was your aunt's reaction when she saw the footage? And he pretty much was like, she told him it was kind of up to him what he wanted to do. If he felt comfortable, releasing that or having it released or going to the police, and he didn't feel comfortable doing it. So that's pretty much why they sat on it for so long. Like why the aunt didn't report it right away, because
the aunt could have reported it. She don't need permission to get justice.
That's what the young man said. And I mean, I guess you probably feel vulnerable after that. It is a tape of you being intimate. So, hey, do you want me to just go put this out like that?
I do feel bad for the young man, because you can already kind of tell, even from these chains of events in these stores and things that they're creating. I do feel bad for the young man. I feel like he probably is a lost soul. And I do feel like he was trying to exploit, not exploit himself, but more so figure himself out at the age of 15 or even younger, and especially within the community, just trying to get his footsteps. He may have lived next to Charli and came across Charli and probably tried to mingle and mix and have a friendship. For it to be proclaimed as they said, what if Charli doing the storyline? I don't know. I wouldn't even want a storyline on me saying that I touched somebody. Like, that's vile. Charli saying he don't even know the person. I feel like they probably have some type of interaction, but it was many, many years ago. He probably don't remember.
He said the street name of where it was located. He also said he couldn't remember the kind of car Charli had, but it was a silver car. But can I just tell you the weirdest question I got from what's that guy's name? They always trying to compare Charli to the one that was hosting. I can't think of his name right now, but he asked the guy, he was asking him details about the actual act, and so he was like, were you a top or bottom? And he was like, well, I tried to, I guess, be a bottom, but I couldn't take it. And he says, why couldn't you take it? I was like, that's the weirdest shit to ask somebody. Why couldn't you take it?
No, this is what the dumb question was, Leah. Did you see him mess with any other boys? Like,
yeah.
How could he see if Charli was taking advantage of another boy? That means they all in the room watching each other engage in sexual activities. Just dumb and stupid.
Yeah, it was a few strange ass questions. I'm like, y'all, okay.
The dumb and the dumbest. Girl, it's easy to try to bury somebody, but it's, I understand that Charlie's not the most easiest person. He's not the nicest sometimes, or he may be, you know what I'm saying, a little bit off-putting and all this other stuff. But at the same token, y'all, these are serious allegations that is being brought on someone. And I'm never going to downplay the victim in their story or whatever the case may be. It's just it seems like there's a game just being played, and he's not bringing nothing to the forefront to where it's concrete, it's evident, and it's solid. Like, why come here and then do all of that nonsense, and then now that you heard everybody repeatedly say go to the authorities, you're making phone calls on Bigo now to go to the police. The comments in the audience should not have to sway you to get justice for yourself. The audience should not have to sway you to get justice for yourself. You should want to get justice, stand up, do what's right for you, for yourself, for your own well-being.
Exactly.
You should want to do that. Am I crazy? Even if he told you to wait or you ain't feel comfortable, she could have at least took action in the matter. It's serious. It is serious. People do be scared of the outcome, but you have the outcome. You never know how the outcome may be until you even try. It's a mere fact, Carmen, the aunt. That's the key to get on the line. The lady that claims she saw it and did not take it to the... So let's say if he's the victim, right? He doesn't feel comfortable. He doesn't want to express it to nobody. Let's just take heed on that for a moment. The aunt saw it. She did not go to the police.
Exactly. She didn't go to the police, but I did caution in the comments. I did caution in the comments because he said he was going to he was going to bring it to the police's attention. I said, well, which I wasn't trying to deter him, which he probably didn't even see my comment, and it wasn't meant to be like a deterrent, but keep in mind that when you do bring this to the police, that you try to sell what may be considered child pornography. So just be careful of how that may backfire as well because of the way you went about it. So I don't know.
He tried to sell the tape, guys. Let's just be clear. If he is the victim in this matter, would you want somebody to see you in that vulnerable position? Someone is taking your innocence away from you freely and willingly. Like, would you want somebody to be able to have access to that? And not only that, you're charging them for it. I don't know. I don't know. People can say, oh, it seems like get you on the side or whatever the case may be. I'm just looking at the facts of what's been presented here on Bigo and trying to piece the truth together versus a lie.
Right.
He charged you guys $25 to see his alleged molestation tape. Did you guys pay for it? Who paid for it?
If they're coming out with talking about the tape, somebody had to have access, or I don't know. Look, I don't have a whole lot of skin in these fights on Bigo because I don't follow certain families or participate in the politics and shit of it all. So I do try to see shit fairly on both sides. But yeah, I'm leaning more toward it does not make sense to me.
It just don't make sense. It just don't make sense, y'all. It just really, really don't. Like, all the pieces within the story, the dots are all just not connecting. That's ticket they paid for, but guess what, April? Some people may believe the young man because, let's play advocate here. Charli has had several other allegations on him via this app, right? You had the AJ man trying to come out, and they say another boy trying to come out and say similar things in this context. so far, I guess, with nobody being successful or nobody not bringing no proof to the forefront, these stories start to whittle a little bit. Once the clock go away or anything like that, they start to like whittle a little bit. If this young man had this, or he has it, or whatever the case may be, the documents, the paperwork, this is serious, guys. The paperwork. Not leaning on no side. The paperwork is serious. If it was you, even at 15, your own free will, your own self, without an adult, and with you being scared and all this, will you have gone to the cops?
See, me personally, I could kind of see his hesitation because I was older and experienced something similar. And no, I did not go to authorities because part of me was like, oh, well, you kind of let it happen. A lot of people tend to blame themselves too. Well, I let him bring me to get something to eat. I must have showed him that I was interested. So you kind of try to, back and forth with yourself, like, what did I do to kind of make this situation occur? So I can get why, because I didn't go at an older age just because I'm like, well, I shouldn't have let that person in my house. I was too trustworthy.
Now,
things like that.
I'll ask this question. Even if not the police, would you have engaged with this person 5 times after the initial incident?
Never saw that person again. I blocked them from everything. I was embarrassed to even see this person again. Like, I would never want to encounter them again. I would want to go the rest of my life without ever seeing them. Like,
the young man 5 times more. At least that's what he said, allegedly. He engaged 5 times more in that encounter with alleged Charli. So
he counts the incident in the car, the little final incident. He counts that as one time. He said they went at it twice in one day, so that's an incident. I guess 2 more times after that.
Grooming is real. Grooming is
yes,
real.
It is.
So we're not knocking any of these topics. Grooming is a real thing. Manipulation is a real thing. A 20-year-old to a 15-year-old. However, on this spectrum, Charli has alleged to have been in a relationship. He was saying he was in a relationship with somebody. I've shown you guys the footage, or at least the picture that the young man has shown of who Charli was in that video. You can take it as you will. Some people think it is him. Some people think it's not him. We got more no's than yeses. It's just giving the whole falsified narrative around these allegations. Are we clear? Like, are we on the same kind of similar spectrum? You don't necessarily have to choose a side, like who's right, who's wrong, who's innocent, who's guilty, or whatever. But look at the evidence that's been presented so far. Look at the story that has been told so far. And if you got any type of sense, just something in your heart and in your spirit and in your mind just ain't right. Now, we have people like Miss Kick Me. We had Bad Me's sister. We had all these people. Their story has been seeming similar to how they had an in-house incident and people taking advantage of you or whatever the case may be, and you're silenced, or you're afraid to speak out, or you cannot move, or you've been so young at that time and someone's taking advantage of you. But guess what? A lot of them never resolved their offender. They didn't do repeat offenses. Even if they were violent as kids, some of them couldn't escape their abuser because it was either a stepdad or uncle in the house or a family member in the house. You know what I'm saying? This young man was a neighbor down the street, meaning you would have to further engage with him more and more and more in order for you guys to interact again and again and again. So it's giving, not falsifying him, not putting him down. Maybe at 15 he didn't know. Maybe at 15 he couldn't control himself. Maybe at 15 he probably wasn't aware it was this type of situation. But it's giving, even in the same apartment complex, maybe at 15 he was in a vulnerable state. He probably was going through a lot in life. He was trying to find himself in life. But it's still a lot of itchy, scratchy, like loopholes in the situation. And we're just all having adult conversations and giving our opinions on the matter. Who could tell what is true, what is not, but we will not just just let somebody just come up and just say whatever and give y'all whatever without real receipts or real documents attached. I would think y'all would owe that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the support, a lot of people that upload their money here, you would want to, like, real concrete evidence. Am I right or am I wrong?
But another thing that also raised a red flag is how he even got to Bigo, which we know he said was through YouTube. But people are like, how did you find, like, to get with anybody to go on live and things like that? And he was like, well, I first tried to go to Charli's live, but I was blocked. I'm sorry, I'm boiling seafood in here, and I did not ventilate this house. So they were like, how were you blocked? And these are questions that the hosts were asking, and I'm like, okay, so are they like probably had nothing to do with it, and they're not trying to like set up this storyline, or what is it? Is this an independent contractor? But he pretty much was like, he tried to go to Charli live first, but he was blocked. But how can someone block you when they don't know you? You don't have any pictures up, you don't have anything. But he said maybe the telling my truth part, and saw his location, that may have deterred him. He has thousands of people, or hundreds of people at the very least, that may try to get into a live. Why would you automatically get blocked? And you've never been on this app before. There's no cause.
Communicate with him prior. Show that. Just show it.
Yeah.
If you communicated with him prior to this moment, show it. In order for him, to block you or anything like that. Y'all, I don't know. I try to be fair in the whole situation. Meaning, if he was the victim or whatever, we never want to go against it or say that there's not room for a situation of this sort. Charli say he never met the man. I do feel like they probably know each other. Okay? Somehow they have history, right? And not only that, they had enough history to where the young man is saying they continue on having sexual relations, right? Allegedly. Trying to say he don't know him. But I do feel like they may know each other. It just I just find that hard. And I told Charli this earlier today, that he just gonna come up here, a random person just gonna come and just say they know you and you did all X, Y, and Z. He probably knew you from the past. Y'all probably had something going on. He probably broke his heart or something or whatever. And now he's coming on this platform to tear you down or to give you your Mirandas. Like it's something behind the context of it. It really, really is. And Charli saying he don't know the boy at all, and then the boy saying they known each other for a short amount of time. Like, no ma'am, it's no ma'am. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
It's something there. Just like someone said in the comments, they feel like they're not getting 100% information from maybe Charli trying to hide something. But I don't subscribe to a whole lot of this, so I can't speak on his character or what he may or may not do. Some people said maybe he set it up just to get this whole thing popping. Well, who the hell would set something up like this? Like, if you wanted to start a storyline for yourself and make it seem like somebody else is attacking you, you don't go this route. Like, that's dirty.
And like I saying, he might be. I said he telling the truth. Y'all gonna see tomorrow. He might be telling the truth, or he might have some inclination with Charli. It's just the mere fact that he's on this application trying to tell you guys to purchase the sex tape, to purchase him being phoned with and touched. He's asking the audience to send him money to watch. Like, what? Huh? You're asking the audience to send you money versus going to the police department.
Right.
You can never clear that up, Ari. Ain't no shadow of a doubt. You can't never clear that up. You can't never clear that up. It ain't no young minded. You have been abused. You have been assaulted. You are on camera being taken, your free will is being taken away from you. The last thing I'm thinking about is selling that for you to see, for the world to ridicule me further, for the world to bash me even further, for the world to look at me as weaker, as if I don't feel weak already, that my innocence has been taken away. Ain't no way in God's green earth I'm selling that to anybody.
Yeah, the only person I would have tried to sell it to would have been Charli. If I really wanted to be on some vindictive shit and some revenge shit, I would have hit him up personally, find a way to get into his messages, his something, and be like, hey, I got this, remember this? You know, if you're really trying to do some snake shit and take him down, hey, remember this? I'll blow your shit up if you don't, you know, do whatever. You know, that, like, I wouldn't do it, like, just out in the public. I'll attack them just directly, like, I got some shit on you.
He said on live, he did not say that. I watched him say that verbatim. I watched him say that verbatim. They was going to load it on Twitter. He launched his Twitter page, and then he said to the audience, send me the cash app, and then he gave the cash app name in the comments. I stand. I watched him say that myself on live. I was in the live.
He says,
I was on live at the same time with the girls. That was on live. That was in living color.
Look, he said after you do it. Look, Royce, he said, after you do it, send me your name and I'll send you the video.
Yep, that's exactly what he said. Once you send me the cash app, I'll let you into the Twitter page. That's exactly what went down, verbatim. And then he was going to let you guys see the video if y'all sent him the money. So that part is not alleged. I seen that my darn self.
I'm just so shocked as to, I guess, 6 years ago,
It's a picture.
The guy would have been 15. I know my 15-year-old would have beat the fuck out somebody they try to touch him.
Everybody is different though, but go ahead, yes ma'am. Go ahead and express.
After the first time that person that tried you, I would have stayed away from him. I would have never went back around him, especially if he didn't have no weapon. I would have ran.
Or nothing up on me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing on me, no weapon, no nothing, or whatever the case may be. You going for blood. I don't know. It's
going to come out because the way the boy talking.
The truth gonna come out though.
If he's going full force with it, so it's going to come out.
Even if living next door, tell your aunt who's right there with you whenever she got home from work or whatever. Tell her y'all right next door to each other. Get justice right then and there. I understand some people may say, some people quiet and they silent or whatever. Even more opportunity. He's right next door. He ain't going nowhere. Call the police. He's right next door. He ain't going nowhere. The auntie saw the video. He right next door. He ain't going nowhere. Get him. Take him down. Get him. So the young man is now saying, though, he's called the police today. He has called the police department today. And so, how do you guys feel now that he has now kind of taken some justice into his own hands? And,
I told you how I felt. I hope it doesn't backfire with him trying to sell it. So I that's what I said. I like I said, not trying to deter him, but you do know you're opening up a can of worms. If this is in fact the case, and there's proof that you've been trying to push this tape, you could face charges as well. So just be mindful of that. But if you want to, get justice by all means. But you may be part of that justice as well.
Thank you, Lupus. I agree. I feel like that part was recorded. The YouTube was like, everybody ain't uploading everything just yet. And I have my own channel. Y'all go to the Bigo Streetz game page. It'll be up there. It's giving very much.
TT504, hey girl.
The mere fact he tried to sell it is going to backfire. I feel like if he has the evidence or whatever and the auntie will support him in court, the mere fact he tried to sell it, it may backfire.
Right.
The mere fact he's here versus trying to just go and get justice and have all his stuff, his ducks in a row, and trying to see what try to live or get as much information, he may even crumble again in court. He may crumble in court. I've seen a piece of what he tried to show you guys. I've seen a piece of that picture of what he tried to show. I mean, I can upload it somewhere for y'all to see, but I can't show it on here no more. I can place it somewhere, but here, Okay,
I don't even want to see it. I don't care to see it. I don't want to be a part of it. Shit, I don't know how deep this shit might go. And oh well, we gonna wrangle up every one of you motherfuckers. Nope, I don't want to be a part of that at all. I don't want to see kids doing anything like that. So the fact that grown ass people was even just gravitating toward that, like, why y'all want to see that?
I don't know.
I know you want receipts, but. Damn, we can receive some other kind of ways. Show call logs. Did y'all talk to each other outside of just being neighbors? Did y'all have exchange numbers? Like things like that. Okay, that could be receipts too.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. The text messages, the threads of you guys continuing to invite one another in. All of that is living, breathing proof. All of it. All of that you can use.
Well, I wish the guy, you know, because he said afterwards, because they asked him if he had dabbled in drugs, you know, how it affected him mentally, and he said he tried some things. He at one point tried, I think he said he tried heroin before, but it didn't, like, I guess, you know, that wasn't his thing, so... Yeah,
he did drugs and he was taking Xanax and different things like that. He'd been through a lot in his life. So that aspect I can relate with, right? He probably had a hard upbringing. You know what I mean? He probably been through some trauma in his life. A lot of little issues there, and especially being on the other side of the spectrum. You know, life is not easy all the time. You do meet or you do meet people that try to take advantage of you. You know, that may be true. That's in the possible, you know what I'm saying, realm of truth. Yeah. But in this situation, it's true. It really is true. Youngsters especially when they're trying to figure out themselves or come out of the closet, as he said earlier today, you can easily be taken advantage of from someone else in the community that has more experience. That has a little bit more experience. Now, Carmen said, who keeps a message from 6 years ago? I probably have a few. I got all my phones, but we're not talking about me. But not even in that sense. If they met on an app or they text on the app still got it. You know, Instagram keep all our messages. Or just even if we're just giving an example of, if you don't the video or don't want to show the video, is there anything else worthy enough that you can show, because you don't want to cam up, you don't want to show your face, you don't want to show the video or anything like that? Is there anything else that you would like to present to not only Bigo, because that's where you're proving it to, but the courts? You know what I'm saying? The judge. Is there anything else you would have in your bag to get justice for yourself? That's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah, he's 11 months clean from drugs. Absolutely. Now, I see one comment earlier say, oh, you know, he's a druggie or whatever. You probably don't know what he's doing. He probably hallucinating. He probably having withdrawals or whatever the case may be. You know, that's a little bit insensitive comments, because I see the interview comments. Y'all a little bit insensitive. However, be that as it may, you know, his drugs probably even have nothing to do with the story. He probably met this man and found him on YouTube and been watching him or a fan of his for some time, and things happen. He probably remember, oh, I met him, we did this, or anything could possibly happen. But to put molestation on someone is very, very vile. It really, really is. To claim someone touched you or whatever the case may be, it can be harmful, and it is a defamation of character. But if so, go to the courts and get justice. You brought it to Bigo already. You don't have interview after interview. You called the police station today. We're waiting on, I guess everybody's waiting back and they're waiting to see the next step, or, you know, how this is going to go down, you know. I feel bad for both parties. A young man at the age of 26, Charli, shouldn't be even going through or dealing with something like this, as you have a longer life to live.
Yeah, they're both very young. Like,
if he gets locked up, that's his 20s, that's his 30s, maybe his 40s.
Right.
Then the young man at 21, already been through traumatic events in his life. You know, him trying to sell the tape, that's illegal. May backfire. Right. He could potentially get locked up.
So anybody could get it, really, at this point.
Anybody, both sides can get it. Both sides can get it. Like, at this point.
Why are people saying like this comment here that Charli been evil? This is his karma. Like I said, I don't subscribe to a whole lot. I have been watching Charli for a while, but I knew about the other guy, the Jalen or whatever his name, but I didn't know. Is he just like? Is this a recurring thing? Like, is this a theme?
Well, the thing is, I don't think Mr. Charli is innocent. We don't see him get down in the nitty gritty or whatever the case may be. But it's Bigo, this platform. They go back and forth with one another. They get violent. They get dirty. They call police on each other, or they try to, really take each other down on this app. And they go to extreme measures to do so. So it's been Social Security numbers leaked and addresses leaked and phone numbers leaked and different scenarios, situations on this app. Okay, and yes, Mr. Charli has been a part of some of those little inclinations. However, is he an alleged R-worder? Is he out here doing the worst of the worst when it comes down to younger men or people in the world?
If that is your thing, if you are a recurring offender, why would you have a big platform like that? For anyone you offended to basically air you out, put you on blast, put all your business in the street, you would kind of lay low. I don't think and I know people do it all the time. You see reality shows where people get busted for shit. It's like, you put on a reality show knowing you got this kind of background or what can possibly come up. But that's weird to me that, okay, I have a history of doing fucked up shit to people, and I'm just going to have this huge platform for all of this shit to come back on me? I would want to lay low and, do my dirt in fucking peace and private. But I don't know. Some people feel like they can't get caught or can't be touched. So there's that.
Exactly. That power too when it comes down to him. So it is a risk. It is all a risk. It's all a risk. This game is one messy, murky one. Even the alleged victim on his side, having videos and pictures of somebody else, and him saying, it was Charli in the video. If he's accusing him, he can go down. Him trying to sell it, he can go down. If it is true, Charli in the situation, have to go to court and have to fight and justify and try to clear up his name. And if he's found guilty, years can be taken off of his life. When I tell you, we're going to have to wait and see. The young man allegedly called the police department today. We're going to have to wait and see. We're just going to have to wait and see. Thank you, M-Cam. The young man called the police department today. We're just going to have to wait and see. We're just going to... But I'm going to thank everybody in y'all opinion. Some people not agreeing. They feel like it's biased. Charli does this. He does that or whatever. It's disgusting and it's biased or whatever. The young man telling the truth. Then you got other people, it seems like this story is a little murky, a little shaky. It's both sides of the spectrum. I see y'all, you guys are not taking it in vain. However, it'll be something.
However.
It'll be something brand new tomorrow. Thank you, baby.
Heavy on however.
It'll be something new tomorrow. The man knew of Charli, though. That's disgusting to take a lie all the way to court. Absolutely. You could be found guilty. Stop playing around. You could really be found guilty. Okay? That's why I feel like if he's going to take those extreme measures, it may be something within the story. You know what I'm saying? It may be something within the story,